Captain on the bridge.
Alrighty, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we got some things to go over from the Star Trek Online official Twitter feeds, the Trek Central Twitter feeds, also the Star Trek Online Twitch and YouTube page. So here we go on screen. Yes, captains, this is a late video to this, but we just got home and we just finished our in real life duties, but nonetheless, we are going to do this. We're going to give our first reactions. Of course, we're going to go over all of that information. But first, before we do so, do us a favor, hit that like button. Also subscribe to the YouTube bridge if you're new, as we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains where we can share our love, our passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. And with that said, here we go. Now, our previous video, we knew that we were going to get this video. And yes, we were able to watch this before we went to work this morning, and it's glorious. So we're gonna watch this first, and then there is an actual link here to the new information on the upcoming latest story update. But we'll watch this first, and of course, give our 2 ECs. So here we go.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Oh, captains, that was so cool. All right, sorry, I'm almost on the verge of changing my uniforms because we have been waiting for this new updated Enterprise to get to Star Trek Online, but we'll get to that bit of info in a bit. I just wanted to go over this video and just say bravo. This seemed like an official intro to a new Star Trek series, and wow, wouldn't it have been great if we would have gotten the Enterprise F its own series. But let's just talk about how beautiful this ship is. Now, again, I've mentioned this before numerous times that I wasn't a fan of the Odyssey until the Yorktown class because of how streamlined it got. Now, this version of the Odyssey, the Picard version, I think I do like. Now, I might still change out the secondary hull to the Yorktown because it's a little bit more streamlined, but this version has something different. And of course, that's something we're gonna see here in a bit. But just let's just say, Thomas, the work that you've done here, just beautiful, sir. And this is the change right here. It has a shuttle bay above the deflector. Now, again, I'm not sure if that's probably not gonna translate to the Yorktown, which is fine. You know, but I think they did enough of a good change here. Subtle, but good. Like, just the work, the looks, the detail here. The nacelles look a lot better. I do like the little swoop up there at the end there, the fins. It just makes it look more better. But this part totally reminded me of lower decks there of the ship going through asteroids and it crashing, but not, of course, the Odyssey, because this is the flagship of Star Trek Online. But she looks good, captains. She definitely looks good. This shot, look how detailed that looks. Love the bridge module there. And she's just looking so good. Now, there was one of the comments there that, again, said that they're not really liking this ship. That's fine. I think it has the right silhouette. And like I said, it took me a while to get to like it. And I think this version of it, I can jam with. I can definitely see myself putting my captain here and doing some pews for sure, some shelfies. So this was a cool shot. It was kind of passing some other ships here that I could see here. I think I saw the TOS Enterprise. I think I saw an Intrepid, a Ross class, a Sutherland. I think what else here? I think an NX, could be. Constellation. Yeah, there's the Ross class right there. Oh, there's the Walker class, a TMP Walker, the Shinzu right there. But this last part here, that was kind of cool. That totally reminded me of a scene from the actual series there of the Titan going into warp or in warp. And it sounded like a race car. That was absolutely awesome here. Yeah, I think that's an NX refit, I think. Of course, you got the Connie there. But yeah, this scene was pretty cool. So, but then we also get to know what the name of this new update is. It's going to be Unraveled. So May 9th, Captains, we know that already. So May 9th, we are going to get the new content, which is next week as of this video. Now, having said that, we had mentioned we know when we're getting actually the ship. And right here, look for the updated model of the Odyssey class to hit Star Trek Online in June. Don't know why they won't drop it there. I don't know why I played that all of a sudden. When Unraveled drops, but that's fine. It looks for an updated model of the Odyssey class to hit Star Trek Online. Now, again, super excited of that. And we're going, you know what, the one thing I forgot to look at, but that's fine. We'll look at that in a bit. But yes, super excited for that. That is that. Now we'll get to the blog here as it is announcing. So we see Kumarke back here, an awesome shot here of Tholians. Now I'm going to just give my first two ECs here and say that I don't think disappointed is the word. No, I think it was just kind of like a, huh? What? Nani? Because the last scene that we saw, and again, this is the video that we went over last time, was the scene of the Terrans with BORG. Not to say that they're not going to be here in Unraveled, but I kind of just thought that that would be where we were going next right away. But we have this, so we'll go over it. We'll see what we're going to get. So announcing Star Trek Online Unraveled. Star Trek Online Unraveled, our latest story update, is coming to PC on May 9th. So of course, PC first and then the console bridge. So kind of a cool picture here. Of course, we'll just probably just use this as the thumbnail here. PC Captains, get ready. The next major Star Trek Online content update is coming 1 week from today in Star Trek Online Unraveled. Admiral Kumarke returns to the spotlight, played by Kipley Brown. Following events from the conclusion of the Mirror Universe story arc, Terran Gambit, your captain will embark on a humanitarian scientific mission with Captain Kumarke to stabilize the Nakul Sun. However, this mission is interrupted by Discovery. A trans-dimensional reality vortex is disrupting space-time throughout the multiverse. That is a very interesting note right there, Captains. Multiverse. We'll get into that in a little bit. A conflict ensues with the Tholians, who reveal that constant use of time and dimensional travel has caused these vortices. And your captain is partly to blame. Featuring a new episode, TFO, new patrols, and an update to the Infinity Lockbox, Star Trek Online Unraveled will take you deep into the final frontier. And that's not all. In celebration of the flagship of Star Trek Online, we decided to give the Enterprise F her own version of the classic Star Trek introduction. Check it out below and let Captain Shone regale you with those magical words, space, the final frontier. Of course, that is what we just watched there. So, pretty cool. Now, going back to this multiverse thing, that was kind of one of my theories before for what the Discovery, where it would kind of become a multiverse. You'd get Strange New World, Discovery, Picard all in one screen, that it was all of them teaming up to face a galactic sort of threat there, or dimensional, trans-time dimensional threat. So it looks like that's what we're going to get here. Again, no mention of the BORG, even though that's kind of what we saw in the last episode of Fujiwara Effect. No more Terrans, it's saying. Now it's going to be Tholians. Interesting. I'm going to say interesting. Again, disappointment is not the word, but I'm kind of just going, what? Throwing sort of a curveball to us from that last. But there is that. Looking forward to it next week. Now, there was, like I mentioned in the intro of the video, a Twitter peds of Trek Central that had this, that also came up saying new Star Trek Online's USS Enterprise F is updated following its appearance in Star Trek Picard Season 3. The in-game Odyssey class has now got a new look. The Unraveled season arrives on May 9th. Now this is going to be kind of weird, but again, we'll go over here, we click that, this is where we are at. We're brought to, I should say. While the USS Enterprise might have been short-lived in Star Trek Picard Season 3, it's not going anywhere. Star Trek Online's USS Enterprise F has just received a new update for the Unraveled season that arrives May 9th. Previously, Star Trek Online Refractions was launched earlier this year. Star Trek gaming is not slowing down at the moment. That's a good thing. Additionally, the upcoming video game Star Trek Resurgent also launches later this month. And yes, captains, we are going to be playing that 100%. Following events from the conclusion of the Mirror Universe story arc Terran Gambit, your captain will embark on a humanitarian scientific mission. Again, we read that, of course, already. There's that. We're going to keep going here. Star Trek Online's Battle Stations. The start of a thrilling new arc will bring Kipley Brown back to Star Trek Online, reprising her role as Captain Kumarke. Didn't it say Admiral here? Is it Admiral Kumarke and then Captain Kumarke? Sure. Uncover the mysteries behind the reality vortices and help save the multiverse while seemingly working alongside the USS Enterprise F. Players of Star Trek Online Unraveled will discover the following content. So it's weird that we get this information in this link here, but don't get it here in the actual Star Trek Online. I just find that kind of weird. But new episode, Wish Upon a Star. While on a scientific humanitarian mission with Captain Kumarke, your captain will discover a group of Tholians interacting with a reality vortex. Their intentions and goals are unknown. New task force operation, Leviathan. A 5-player space task force operation simulating a trench run exercise across the other in a what-if scenario in the Terran Gambit arc had ended differently. Interesting. New patrols. 2 new patrols, Jupiter Gauntlet and Bringers of War, based on the Terran Gambit story arc. New hard mode is included as well for an extra challenge. Now, that sounds interesting. Now, one of the discussions that we had, of course, is the fact that I don't mind getting new hard difficulty. What I don't want in the difficulty is just the NPCs having just more HP. Just an huge HP sponge. I don't find that a challenge nor fun, in all honesty. I want a sort of mixture of, not really quick pews, but, you know, a sort of what we see on screen. Essentially what we're always going for is our immersion. So we want to see that type of battle. Yeah, it doesn't take seconds, but it doesn't also take like minutes to take down one target. So, you know, I think adding HP to targets is not really a challenge, because in that means, again, you're just pushing it to captains to try to push the performance, and sometimes that leaves other captains behind because they don't like to play that style of. But again, it's a challenge if you want it. It's not necessary. It's going to be there. We're going to try it definitely and see how we do, definitely. So Lockbox and LLaP store items, strange new world items, and the T6 GORN Hunter Pilot Raider have been added to the Infinity Lockbox. Starfleet and Magellan items from Season 1 of Strange New Worlds have been added to the LLaP Crystal Consortium. So finally, we are getting more Strange New Worlds items. Again, weird how it's not announced in the actual official Star Trek Online, but whatever. They obviously got this information from the Star Trek Online. So anyways, it took this long to get this. So technically this is sort of the 4th ship from Strange New Worlds, but really it's a 3rd ship because the Enterprise itself was from Discovery. We got the Farragut, the Romulan Praetor ship, and then now this Gorn ship, which we'll have a look at later because they did show it off in the stream there. So, but now some more auto items from LLaP, from the LLaP store. So we're going to be totally looking at that and see what we can get from that. So up next here, the USS Enterprise F leads Star Trek Online. Star Trek Online players were thrilled to see their flagship in Star Trek Picard Season 3. Unfortunately, the ship was sidelined in favor of a new, less advanced, I don't know why they want to say that, less advanced, Enterprise G, but it's still a fantastic achievement. To celebrate the occasion, developers Cryptic Studios have released a new trailer for their flagship. The updated USS Enterprise F looks as it does in the 3rd season of Star Trek Picard. Additionally, the trailer also has the captain of the Odyssey class Enterprise F doing the legendary Star Trek log readout, which was awesome. Star Trek Online is a free-to-play, massively multiplayer online game that allows players to explore the Star Trek universe from within. Players can forge their destiny as a captain of a Federation starship, champion the Empire through the galaxy's far reaches as a Klingon warrior, and rebuild the Romulan legacy as the commander of a Romulan Republic warbird, or carry out daring missions on behalf of the Dominion as a Jem'Hadar soldier. Captains can also explore iconic locations from the Star Trek universe, contact new alien species, and battle alongside other players in customizable starship. Star Trek Online is available on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. So quite interesting. Thank you, huge shout out to Trek Central for this information. Again, why it's not added here, I don't know. So we're gonna go back to the Star Trek Online official Twitter feeds. And now that we know, again, this is gonna be available to us in June, we have something else to go over here, which is this. So tonight, which is of course a couple hours ago, it's time to reveal a new ship coming to Infinity Lockbox. So we're gonna go over to this 10 forward stream here on Twitch. But again, I will link everything that we've gone through in the description below, Captains, no worries. I find that Twitch was a little bit clearer when we got to look at this. And yeah, there's that Gorn Hunter ship. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna get it. 100%, again, I've said this before, if I don't like a ship, it doesn't matter how well it performs. It could be the most top ceiling performing ship in the game. If I don't like the look of it, I ain't getting it. So there it is. We're gonna see, I think our Mike here, Mike Fathom, is our Master Gale, is gonna fly a little bit here to show us the dynamics of this. This reminds me of that other ship there, the Courier Pilot ship. This thing spins as you fly, but look at the detail on that. That's looking kind of meh. To me, again, I'm not the biggest fan. We knew we were gonna get it. For me, it saved resources. I'm not gonna get it. So I just don't like the design. It's very alien, and some captains will probably love that. So let's see. And yeah, see, it's doing that little spinny thingy as it flies. Not the biggest fan of that. So, but that's what it did on screen. So at least they're keeping that. So, and it also has, of course, the pilot maneuvers. Now we're just gonna quickly look over what it has to offer here. Again, we know that this is going to have an official blog, so we'll go over that when it comes out. So there it is. It is a 5-1 configuration, and of course it gets 5 tack, 1 psi, and 5, that's different, 5 eng. Mind you, anything nowadays you're just loading up the universal consoles mostly, so that's interesting. So there it is. That is the Gorn Hunter Pilot Raider. Now we're gonna try to see if we can get all the other information here, because they went over the traits and consoles like they normally do. So there's the trait there, complex plasma fires, stacking plasma dot on firing modes. During energy weapon firing modes, plasma weapons apply 55.6 stacking plasma damage per second for 30 seconds. Ignore shields. Scales with weapon power. If shield facing is down, an additional 79.4 plasma damage. So I don't have a lot of plasma builds, so that might be something interesting for those who do have plasma builds. And really, I think this is the first Gorn ship we've gotten in a long time. So that's something to look forward to. And I'm excited for those captains who are actually wanting to get this. So there's that trait that it has there. Again, we'll go over that once in detail once we get the blog there. So we're still talking about that. I want to see the actual, there you go. So the experimental weapon, it's new. It's called the Plasma Incendiary Bombard. Now you can see that they're trying to push the plasma here. So plasma incendiary bombardments. So 90-degree targeting arc, 12,613.2 plasma damage. And it has plasma damage to cruisers and then battleships and dreadnoughts. So additional damage, it looks like. So looks cool. I mean, sounds interesting, I should say. But again, we're not going to get this. So not going to really matter to us at this point. So we're going to also now try to see if they show the stations, but it is a pilot, so did they show the stations? No, they just kind of took it into the pews here. It's doing its thing there. We're trying to see if it's firing that. Yeah, I don't like that whole moving thing of it there. I just don't like it. It's a cool mechanic, though. Don't get me wrong, Captain. If this is something that you want to get and you have the means to get it, you have the resources, by all means, have at her. But again, it looks like a full pilot spec, I believe. Didn't actually show us the stations on this, but like he normally does. But again, the blog will come out. Just gonna see if they show us here. Possibly, possibly not. It's just doing its pews there. So it's kind of, oh god, dear, why do I have to pause on when it's showing the slime devil? Dear Lord, sorry. I'm not the biggest fan of that ship, to be honest. Or that vanity shield. So they didn't show the stations here. I don't know why they're not showing, they're just showing off the visuals. Yeah, they're just showing off the visuals, but we'll get into more detail of that, of course, when it comes out. So there you go, Captains. Thought we would give that update for the new story update that we're getting. Again, more of a Nani moment, Unraveled. I thought we were going to get some Borg Terran action going on, but it looked like Tholian multiverse, so that's going to be interesting. So new TFO, new patrols, of course, new difficulty, and of course a new Enterprise F skin that I think someone did say, Thomas said we're getting that for free. Don't hold me to that, we'll see, but we're gonna get that skin in June. I don't know why they don't release it there already in actual time when Unraveled is released. I don't know why, it is what it is. So I'm looking forward to it, definitely. Again, I want to see what items are going to be added to the low buy store, so that's something to look forward to. So definitely we're going to always go over that as best as we can. Again, a late video going out, but we thought we would get this out because yes, it's a reaction to the new content coming that of course we'll be covering here on the YouTube bridge. So do us a favor, Captains, like the video, comment below, let us know what you're looking forward to. And also, again, if you're new here, welcome, subscribe here to the YouTube bridge. And of course, we will leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.